Today I want to have a conversation about gut health. I feel like it is the number one symptom that is, or medical condition that's taking the majority of everyone down because it's so multifaceted and encompasses so many other functions of the body. So let's talk about gut health. Who wants to talk about gut health, ladies? What's up? What's up, family? How y'all doing today? Thanks for popping on. Let me know in the comment box below if you guys have gut issues and what your gut issues are. Let's talk about it. So over the past 20 years, pretty much, so I'm 45, right? I was a 80s baby. What's up? I was an 80s baby, a 90s teenager, and I remember when I was young, we didn't have gut health issues. We didn't hear people talking about gut health issues. I never remember people complaining about all these problems they have after they eat. And hi, Sonia. And I remember when I was probably a late teenager, early 20s, that a lot of the food industry shifted significantly. And that's when we saw like a really big influx of all of the genetically modified crops, the genetically modified food, like that all started to become like a thing in our face. I even remember going to the movies. If you guys are my age and remember any of these moments over the past 20 years where you saw the health industry or the food industry change and like symptoms and diseases and stuff go up specifically with gut health, like let me know, or if this affected you directly. But yeah, I remember going to the movies and I watched, it was basically about a big corporation that was forcing farmers to buy their seeds, their genetically modified seeds, which was like corn, basically. And the whole movie was around how the farmers were resisting and the corporations were suing them and they were taking their farms from them and threatening them and using very forceful, scary tactics to basically, get them to use their seeds. Otherwise, there was going to be like pretty dire consequences. So, and like I said, and that was 20 years ago that I remember watching that. And now here I am as a coach, and I study the gut microbiome and the vaginal microbiome because they are different ecosystems, different body parts, but they do work together. And I see all of the destruction being done to these microbiomes. And I know for a fact, because the studies are showing it, the leading doctors and microbiologists, they're talking about it all over, of how the food that we're eating is literally killing the good bacteria in our gut. That's not an understatement. That the pesticides and the herbicides that they're putting on our food, it's classified as an antibiotic, and it's actually killing our gut microbiome. So for women, this is even more severe. Hi guys. Because if we lose the good bacteria in our gut microbiome, we're also losing, the strength and fortification of our vaginal microbiome. And so I'd say out of everyone that I talk to, poor gut health is the number one complaint that I hear. And then right closely behind that is poor vaginal health. This is a sad statement for me to make, but it's almost like common and or normal. It seems in my world, of the hundreds of people that I talk to on a weekly basis in my DMs, it seems more normal for people to have extreme gut dysbiosis and extreme vaginal dysbiosis at the same time. And so let's talk about it. All right, so anyone that's here, thanks for being here. Let me know if you have any gut issues or if you have any vaginal issues. I know herpes breakouts is like a thing, but let's not focus on herpes breakouts, like just other vaginal issues. Yeast infections, UTIs, itching, burning, any of that going on, inconsistent. And vaginal issues, it's also around your period. Are you having messed up cycles? I mean, gut health. A lot of the women that I test, I find that they're in estrogen dominance. That highly affects your vaginal ecosystem too. I just made some raspberry leaf tea. It's pretty hot, so I was letting it cool. So I'd say the majority of people that I talk to, they want to fix their gut. But there are so many things that are happening in mainstream media that are causing people to have poor gut health that it's like insane. And here, let me tell you. So the number one thing that I see messing up, so besides for the antibiotics, right? So besides for toxic food, besides for the animals that are eating the toxic crops, so we're getting issues, gut health issues from the meat we eat, here in the States at least. We're getting gut issues from the produce that we eat. If we're not super careful, if we're not washing our produce, I don't know, I'm hearing all these different things of even if you wash it, it doesn't get it all the way off, right? But at least you should be washing and being mindful of washing all of your produce, all of it. But the other thing that I see highly harming women's gut health is what I call the bro diet. So the bro diet, what is the bro diet, Sarah? The bro diet is the people that go to the gym and they're lifting a lot of weights and they're told that they need to eat high amounts of animal meat every day in order to get their protein to rebuild their muscles. That's the bro diet. And it is so detrimental to women's to gut health. It's insane. And I've now worked with multiple women who were in the gym working out, eating insane, ungodly amounts of red meat or chicken every day, thinking that they were doing their body a service by living on that much protein. In reality, it's actually harming their gut bacteria. It's putting their gut bacteria into what's called protein fermentation. And when you put your gut into protein fermentation by living on a carnivore or a high protein diet, you start getting off-gassing from the gram-negative bacteria, or those are called gut infections. And the off-gassing is awful feeling. You could look like you're 6 months pregnant because you're so bloated. You could be so constipated you want to die. You could have brain fog galore, concentration, any sort of neurological issues, ADHD feeling, concentration issues. You can have burping, gassing. I mean, the amount of symptoms, severe symptoms. People are one of my clients' gut was so toxic from the amount of protein she was eating from her bro diet because she was trying to become a competitive bodybuilder that she put her small intestines into gram-negative bacterial overgrowth, or SIBO, and her symptoms they literally destroyed her life. Her quality of life was completely taken away from her. She couldn't work out anymore. She couldn't even button her pants anymore. She was going to the ER because she had such severe constipation. I mean, it's just been so sad. And she's young. So people don't understand the importance of moderation in their diet. And the mainstream media is misleading so many people when it comes to nutrition. It's scary. So here I am on the back end. People get really, 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 really sick. And then they come and they work with me in my gut and viral restoration program. and I see the damage that's been done, and I help them fix it. And I help them rebalance their gut microbiome, because typically what's happening is they are put into a gram-negative bacterial overgrowth, which is also called a gut infection. There's typically 2 to 5 of them. There's one called Salmonella wadsworthia, and that is directly connected to a high-protein diet. And these gram-negative bacteria, they are beasts. And we have to literally kill them. But they feel so much better once we start going in there and killing them and straightening out their diet, and we start nurturing their gut with good bacteria and feeding the good bacteria properly so it can grow, and we start changing the dominance of their gut, and we start getting the symptoms to go away. And we do get the symptoms to go away, and we get them back to a good quality of life. But it is no joke coming in with these severe gut issues. So Sonia says, what is the name of the soap you use to wash your produce? I use the 7th generation. It's a dish soap. It's in the dish soap aisle. The brand is 7th generation, and I use the Free and Clear. So people are like, oh my gosh, you wash your food with dish soap. It's a very gentle, clean soap. So I do also use baking soda when I'm washing. Sometimes, more often than not, I buy conventional celery to do my celery juicing, because I buy so much celery every month that, the cost of doing organic, the cost of doing organic celery can just get insane. It's like $3 a stalk now, when I'm going through probably 15 to 20 stalks a week. So I've been doing the conventional, and I'll mix the 7th generation with baking soda and get a really good paste. And then I just scrub the shit out of it with that. But let's talk about my program really fast. If any of this is sounding like you guys, let me know. Symptoms you're having. So I want to just go over really fast before we talk about a program, typical symptoms you'll have if you are in gut dysbiosis, okay? One of the things that I remember being super confused about when I was sick was oh my gosh, but I have all these symptoms, and it sounds like it could be this, but it sounds like it could be that too. And it is. Symptoms overlap. There's multiple reasons why symptoms are happening. You can have a completely dysbiotic gut that's causing you symptoms, and at the same time, you can have mineral deficiencies that are causing symptoms. And then at the same time, you could have hormone imbalances causing you symptoms. And then at the same time, you could have viral infections causing you symptoms. And what I find is it's typically all of these. Everyone is mineral deficient. Everyone has viral infections. Everyone has gut dysbiosis. I mean, the level of sickness from imbalances and deficiencies in the majority of people's bodies nowadays that live in the US is crazy. And I see it all the time. I just did my own mom's hair tissue mineral analysis, and she literally, I thought it was a mistake on the lab's part, because when I saw her test results, she had no potassium in her body. No potassium. How does that even happen? That is an electrolyte, and if your electrolytes aren't balanced, you can die. And I was like, you have no potassium, Mom. And it almost no sodium as well. So she's in severe calcium deficiency, magnesium deficiency, sodium deficiency, and literal no potassium. And it's no wonder why she is insanely symptomatic and tired. So, symptoms of gut dysbiosis. The typical ones that I see all the time. And the ones that hit women, it seems like the most. Okay? Because I work mainly with women. Is the neurological, the gut-brain axis. This one seems to be top. So the symptoms associated there is ADD, ADHD. Yeah, let that sink in. If you have a dysbiotic gut, you can have ADD, ADHD. The next one is insomnia. So this happens when you are low in specific bacteria that create the ability to calm your mind down. So in my intake form, my clients will say, I feel like I'm stuck in fight or flight. I feel like I'm stuck in survival. I feel like I cannot, for the life of me, kick out of it, even in bed. They're constantly having to-do lists just cycle through their brains. They feel like their brain is just chewing on things uncontrollably. And it gives them anxiety. It gives them worry. It gives them fear. It gives them depression. And a lot of this is being misdiagnosed as brain chemical imbalances, and they're putting people on SSRIs. But in reality, this is a gut deficiency. This is a good gut bacteria deficiency. And so because your gut is missing the bacteria it needs to make serotonin and dopamine, you have these personality flaws. It's crazy. So I see the inability to slow down their mind the most. They just feel like they're just, no matter how tired they are, they're just go, 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 do. That is not normal. I also see insane insomnia. Women, I feel like women just like don't sleep. It's so sad. Like everyone is so freaking tired. And then like, not only are they tired because they have like a virus, but then they're tired because they don't ever sleep. And then they're tired because they're in mental deficiencies and so they're in adrenal burnout. Like it's so crazy, the snowballs that I see. So those are like huge signs that you have gut imbalances. The next one under that is obviously the bloating. So either you'll swing from diarrhea to constipation. There's like no normalcy. It's either like you have severe diarrhea, you eat and you diarrhea, or you're super constipated. This is a very common problem that I see in many women that have gram-negative bacterial overgrowth, aka mini gut infections. People that have Crohn's, IBS, this is so common for me to find multiple gut infections in them on my BiomeFX gut mapping analysis. And as soon as we fix that dominance, where we bring down the big infections and we start bringing up the good bacteria, all of these swings normalize. I've already done this. I've been doing this for years. I had a client in Vegas last year. She came to me. She would eat and literally almost feel like she was going to shit her pants. She couldn't leave the house. She couldn't go to work. And then on top of that, she was having constant herpes breakouts. It was just like her entire downstairs areas were just like a shit show, literally. And so I was able to see all of the imbalances, all the infections, kill the infections, and start rebuilding her gut garden in the positive way with the good bacteria. And we got everything to change. And now she's literally like kicking ass at like top lead at her office. I gave her quality of life back. And the doctors, they didn't know what the fuck to do. They did nothing. So these sort of acid reflux, heartburn, acid reflux, we have actual bacteria in our gut that are over creating bile. And bile comes from the gallbladder. And it's what shoots into your stomach and mixes with the hydrochloric acid so you can digest your food. So imagine if you're missing the bacteria in your gut to create bile, and then you're low in your minerals so you don't have enough hydrochloric acid. And then you either inherited a toxic liver from your mom in the womb, or you've been saturated with toxins in this life and you have a stagnant liver. That's such a hard, that is a common triple whammy. And why people cannot digest their food and have normal bowel movements or normal just like feelings like in your stomach or your gut. And one of my clients said to me, if you do not have a happy belly, your life is miserable. It's so freaking true, isn't it? If we have a stomach ache, any sort of a stomach ache, how miserable are we? And the majority of women that I talk to, that I work with, are walking around with the most miserable digestive tracts. And then they wonder why they're so depressed. I mean, having poor health literally destroys your quality of life. I know, I was there. I was sick for 10 years and I wanted to die, literally. I wanted to actually die. So these are the things that I focus on in my gut and viral restoration program. I use a state-of-the-art test by Microbiome Labs called the BiomeFX. I've been using this now for 3 years. I've helped so many women be able to get their health back and their quality of life. I've watched my women, I've watched my clients go from thinking they were going to never date anyone ever again to having boyfriends, going out on dates. I've watched my clients who worked with personal trainers one-on-one couldn't drop a pound. And then all of a sudden they start working with me, restoring their gut, and the trainer's going, how are you doing this? How are you losing weight? Because the weight just falls off as soon as we start fixing your gut. Because yes, there are bacteria that determine whether or not you have a high BMI. And so a lot of people will hire me because they're like, I can't lose this weight. I'm dropping $500 a week on a trainer and I'm literally working my ass off, literally, and I can't lose a pound. Why? And I'm like, well, let's look at your gut. And sure enough, I can see the ratios. I can see the dysbiosis. I can see the infections. I can see how their liver. I can see if they're in estrogen dominance. I can see all the little minute details of why they can't even drop a pound. And I just talked to my client last week, and that was one of the things that we were working with her on, was same story, like my cycle's shit, my skin is shit, just everything was bad. I can't lose weight, no matter what and she couldn't sleep. She was super stressed out, stuck in survival. Hi, ladies. And guess what? We started fixing her gut. We've been working on it now for probably 8 months. Her skin cleared. 5 pounds. Like, she just literally just 5 pounds just fell off of her. She didn't even know why. And now she's actually lifting weights, but not using the bro diet, the diet that I teach her. And she's losing more weight. And her, she's feeling so much better. Her anxiety is so much better that now we're going to start weaning her off of her anxiety meds that she's been on since she was 15. And I have an entire plan, wean down plan, start getting her off of that med. She's stoked. So your gut health is the key to everything. It truly freaking is. I see it time and time again. However, I do understand that viruses, I'm not, a virologist. Kind of wish I was. If I had the time, I would go back to school and just get PhDs in everything. Because honestly, I'm better than the allopathic doctors. I'm better than specialists. My clients take my testing and my labs requests to their doctors, and the doctors don't even get it. They look at it and they're like, I have no idea what this means, when I'm sitting here spitting facts out. So it's just funny. But I also know that next to gut dysbiosis is viral infections happening. They're there. They're behind the scenes. They're lurking. And the majority of people, not if they have Epstein-Barr, everyone that works with me has a severe Epstein-Barr infection because I test them and I see it. So they will either come in with an Epstein-Barr infection that is like off the range, 700-800. I even had one in Canada, a gal who she was at 1,000. The range it said 1,000 plus on the lab. It was so high. It was probably over a 1,000 of how severe her infection was, and she had insane migraines that lasted for 3 weeks, and she couldn't even look at light. She couldn't work. Disabled from her migraines. So we started flushing and killing the Epstein-Barr out of her system, which stabilized her TSH. Because if you don't know by now, I believe, and I know because I fixed this within myself, and this is also what I do with my clients, that if you have high thyroid antibodies, you have an Epstein-Barr infection, because Epstein-Barr infects and kills the thyroid. So going after my client's Epstein-Barr, that's literally all I did. At first was focus on killing her Epstein-Barr. We got her migraines to stop. We got her bloating to stop. We got her TSH was at a 14, and we brought it down to a 2. Stabilized her thyroid. Stabilized and stopped the infection that was drilling and killing out her thyroid. And then after I got her out of that, like a lot of the people that come to me, they are so severely sick that I have to kind of like pull them out of this dark abyss. And then once I can get them kind of surface level with light and life again, then we can go in and start really working on like the other root causes. So after I got her Epstein-Barr under control, and I got her mental health under control, because she was so spiraled mentally, emotionally, and spiritually into a dark hole of sadness and depression. I had literally had to pull her out of like so many holes. And then we started working on her gut. We tested her gut and found her gut dysbiosis. And all of these things literally repaired her entire system. And I just checked on her a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, how you doing? And she's like, I'm doing great. We eliminated all her symptoms, stabilized her body, and she has not reverted back. It was so beautiful to hear. Does metformin diabetes meds make things worse? What do you think? Do you think meds make things better? What's your gut tell you? What's your intuition tell you? All big pharma has side effects. It all has consequences, right? It's not something that's hidden from us. I have to research my clients' medication all the time. So everything takes a toll on our body, right? It just does. So metformin, diabetes, this is a whole nother thing that actually goes into gut dysbiosis. Did you know that we have bacteria that control our insulin? It's actually one of the really big markers that I check on a lot of my women that can't lose weight. I check their A1C, and then I also look at their gut to see if they have the actual literal good bacteria to create and control insulin. So it's also not a surprise that over the past 20 years that they've been destroying our food system, and we all have been eating antibiotics every day that kill our good bacteria, and then we have an epidemic of obesity and type 2 diabetes. Because if you have a dysbiotic gut, you're going to easily keep weight on, and you're easily going to be insulin resistant. So I have a client right now who didn't know she was insulin resistant. She came in, she gave me all her labs, and I found her in pre-diabetes. And I said, honey, do you realize you're pre-diabetic? And she was like, no, what? So I was like, look at your lab, look at your graph, look at your consistent upgrade of, uptick. She was pissed. She's like, why the fuck didn't my doctor ever tell me this? I'm like, I don't know. That's kind of scary. You're going pre-diabetic. Your doctor never told you? You know? So I've been working on her gut with her to be able to get her good bacteria regrown so we can stabilize her insulin, because there's other ways we can support the body so that you can hopefully wean down off of the metformin. But there is so the product that I use to help my clients stabilize and control their blood sugar is actually by Natural Cure Labs. Let me type it. I did a post on it. You can scroll down and see. It's called Level Off. I interviewed Damon, the owner of Natural Cure Labs, and we talked about his new product, Level Off, and I asked him why he created this and what it's made out of. It's the most incredible blood sugar stabilizing supplement I've ever seen. In my opinion, it could be used as a medication because it stabilizes so well. But it stabilizes the blood sugar so you don't have swings, but it's not actually insulin. So it couldn't take the place of metformin because metformin isn't insulin, from what I understand. But it helps. So the gal that I found with prediabetes, she was binging on vegan brownies because her cravings were so out of control because her blood sugar was so out of control. So I put her on that and helped stabilize her blood sugar so that I could get her out of her insane blood sugar spikes and get her just back to a balanced diet without binging so much on the sugars. So there's so much we can do for your overall mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and physical health just by pinpointing and working on your gut health. All of my clients see their cycles get better. They see their skin improve. They see their moods improve. Their sleep improves. Their digestion improves. Their bowel movements improves. They lose weight. Everything that they are hoping for, they achieve. And so this is my gut and viral restoration program, and I do have 3 spots open for it right now. The way my signature programs work, my one-on-one coaching, is it is long-term. It has to be long-term. I started off 5 years ago with only 3-month programs. And I started noticing that right when I got my clients to the sweet spot, the program would end. And I was like, oh, this is bad. Like, I hated it. I was like, this is not long enough. And like I said, everyone that comes to me has so many symptoms and they are so severely sick that I have to literally pull them up out of this like horrible health hole and stabilize them. And that'll take me a good 3 months just to stabilize them. And then we can really start digging in and getting the awesome changes. And so I realized a few years ago, I have to work with people for at least 6 months, at least. But I'll tell you that the majority of my clients, for 2024 were 8 to 9 months. So that is honestly like my preference is 8 to 12 months. If you give me 8 to 12 months of your life, I will promise you will be a entirely better woman. The woman you only dream about now on the other side. And I'm not kidding you. Go look at all of my testimonials. I have so many testimonials to back what I say. It's ridiculous. So I am very confident in what I do because I fixed myself and now I fix others and I show them the way. I give them the answers. I empower them with the truth of what's going on with their body. And women are so cool. We are the smartest, most intelligent beings. And what I've learned is you give a woman the reasons why she's sick, and then you give her a guide. This is how you fix it. She'll do it. She will do it. She will do it so freaking good. And she'll probably do it even better than I ask. I had this one client that I just finished up with. My gosh, she did everything I did to the nth degree. And I was just like, I love you. And guess what? Her results I'm dropping her testimonies, starting to drop them this week. We got her off of 2 meds. We got her from 7 gut infections down to 2. She's going to do another round of her protocol on her own to get the remainder of the infections down. We stabilized her thyroid. She literally sleeps so good now. She is so happy. She's going to all these festivals, doing all these cool concerts and all these things now because she feels good. It's amazing. It's so amazing. So I have 3 spots open for 2025. I pour so much of myself into everyone that I don't take on a lot of one-on-one clients because I am like, let's go. And I integrate myself in every aspect of your life. I do your nutrition, your mindset, your daily routine, your relationships. Is Armour better or levothyroxine for thyroid replacement? Desiccated is better, which is Armour. There was a monopoly that happened in the thyroid medication industry in big pharma and the pharmacies. That was really freaking sad. I watched it go down. It affected me in the medicine that I was on. I was pissed. I did so much research into it. So when I first got diagnosed in 2009, it was so normal to be offered Natrethroid, which is the desiccated T3, T4. You could have the Natrethroid or you could have the Synthroid. Like it isn't like it is nowadays. The levothyroxine is now the number 1 candy being pushed. But back in my day, they were a lot cooler and they were like, yeah, you can have this one or that one, whatever. And it was all available at whatever pharmacy, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Walmart, wherever you went, everything was available. And then I watched an entire takedown happen of the desiccated industry and this one company that mainly supplied the Natrethroid. It was as if the owners of, and this was just my opinion looking from the outside in, it was as if the synthetic thyroid industry, it just wham, it took them out. It took out the desiccated Natrethroid. It literally, like overnight, like there was this massive recall. All of Natrethroid was taken off the market. You couldn't even get it in a pharmacy. And then it was replaced by the Armour Thyroid, the generic. And then it was just this huge, I saw this on all my clients. All of a sudden, all my clients were showing up at their calls. My doctor's switching me to Synthroid. My doctor's pushing me to Synthroid or Levo. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. Total and control domination of that. It was so sad. And so now everyone comes to me on 2 thyroid meds. 2. Double the money, double the income for those companies. Now they're balling. It was a total money move. It was so obvious to me it was a total money move. And it sucks because now we got to balance your Tyrosine, we got to balance your Symatol, and we got to balance your Levo, and it's just a shit show. So I personally tell anyone who I work with who's on a thyroid med, if you can get it, if your doctor will prescribe it, because doctors don't even want to prescribe desiccated anymore. They have sold into the synthetic industry. They sold their souls into the synthetic industry, unless you're working with a true blue holistic doctor, it seems. But if you go allopathic medicine, desiccated isn't even an option anymore. So gotta be careful with that. You heard levothyroxine causes cancer. Why did the doctors give you so much trouble in wanting to order Armour? Just why? Just why? I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't heard if levothyroxine, I haven't researched that, but I wouldn't be surprised. And you know what else is causing a lot of thyroid cancer? That literally on the black box warning, it straight up says, be careful of this. This could give you thyroid cancer and or major thyroid issues in the future, is Ozempic. Yeah, so I'm just waiting for that wave of sick women to start coming in, unfortunately, because it just happens. I get the aftermath of everything. I'm getting the aftermath of all the vaxes now. All my clients are coming in super, super, super vaccine injured. And sadly, I'll probably get a lot of women that are going to come in Ozempic injured. Yeah, I have a post I'm going to make on, it's called Ozempic vagina. There's now studies coming out showing how Ozempic is fucking up everyone's vaginal biome. Yeah, I know. It takes a while, like to start seeing all the damage. It's crazy, especially the vaxes. I have a client literally with blood clots right now from the vaxes. And she's on a hardcore thinner. So I had to be super careful. I just literally wrote her a protocol like 2 weeks ago. I had to watch everything I recommended because of K2. Because you can't be on K2 if you're on blood thinners. And she goes for weekly blood thinning shots because of the vaxes. It's fucking sad, you guys. The things I see, the things I deal with, breaks my heart. It literally breaks my heart. Me and my assistant, my team. Yeah. So the side effects of things are so horrific, And so it's why I'm here. It's why I love. It's why I fight. I love, and I pour myself into everyone. So those of you that want my support, I'm here for you. But the one thing that stops the majority of women is they can't use their insurance to pay for me. You have to pay, you either have to finance it, right, or budget for it, or pay out of pocket. And a lot of people are paying so much money to their insurance copays, their insurance monthly, their copays, and their medicine, that they don't have anything left over to work with me. I just had a discovery call with a gal who pays $1,000 a month to her insurance for medical insurance. And guess what? They're doing nothing. She is so sick. She has the cysts. She can barely function. She's so fatigued. Like $1,000 a month to insurance for what? And I was like, oh, honey, if only you could just drop that. And if you could invest that into me, I would make you a superwoman. And thank you. Yeah. I'm never going to stop doing what I do because the need is only getting more dire. All this biological warfare, chicken flu, bird flu, all this biological warfare, I feel like personally Ozempic is one too. The people sadly fall for it. And then I'm here to repair them and love them back to health. And I'm up for it. I love it, honestly. I love what I do. I love my clients. And so I'm looking forward to the people that are going to come and sign up for 2025. I have my energetic space open. I have my literal Slack channel space open. I have my schedule open for my new clients. And so I'm just calling them in. It's your turn. It's your turn. Who's going to come be with me for 2025? So I know they're on their way. I have a lot of discovery calls booked right now. It's exciting. I have hair loss from levothyroxine. Yeah, it causes hair loss. I know that for a fact. Yeah. I mean, you could always switch and see if that helps. But I'd also go find my post on hair loss and my favorite minerals for hair loss. You'll see the mineral that you could take every day to support hair loss. It's a really good mineral. I love it. Where's my trash can? I take it every day. It's by Iodine Ionic. It's silica and sulfur. So a lot of people have hair loss because of adrenal, either a medication side effect, adrenal burnout, or mineral insufficiencies. And silica Silica is the beauty mineral. It's specifically for your hair and your skin and your nails. I will forever be on silica the rest of my life because it's amazing. Well, girlfriend, it sounds like you should book a discovery call and come work with me. I'd love to help you with all this. So there's a couple different ways to book a discovery call. If you go to the bio, it says apply now. There's 3 questions. You just boom, 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 type in your info, submit it, and then I'll get a notification, which either me or my assistant will DM you and hook up with you. And so you can either book a call with my assistant in the DMs, like she just gets your name, your email, time zone. She gets you on my calendar. It does cost, my discovery calls do cost $97 because for the first 4 years, I let them be free and I got ghosted 4 out of 5 of my calls. And then I turned around and started charging $97 and everyone showed up for their calls. I was like, okay, so there you go, accountability. So if you do choose to work with me though, I deduct that $97 off the top of the program price. So giving you that money back basically. So you can, that's 2 ways to book right there. I have my calendar on my website and at coachsarajoy.com. I also have booking links in my bio. They're like, just go up in my bio. There's all kinds of ways. Or you can just DM me, hey, I want to book a discovery call. And then you'll get on calendar. So thank you so much for coming and being a part of this. And I look forward to meeting you and talking to you more. And if anyone else on the replay is like, I'm done, it's time, you're welcome. I welcome you in. If you resonate with me, you resonate with my teachings, with my client testimonials, with all the things I specialize in, then that means that you're probably meant to work with me. Us women, we have that intuition of like, when we know, we know. And I love that. You're welcome. I love that because I can feel that all of my clients, when they come in, I can feel that they were divinely called to work with me and they followed their nudge, they followed their intuition, they followed their call to come work with me. And because of that, there is a beautiful surrender and synchronicity that happens in our time together where they allow themselves to let go of everything that they've been through and learned, and they just absorb and learn from me, and which gives them so much power. And then they trust me, and so they follow the guidance that I give them. No matter if it's like something new they've never done before, they're like, I trust that you know what you're doing. And between those 2 things, that's how they and we get the incredible transformation that they need, desire, and are looking for, and are paying for. It's so beautiful. So thank you so much. You're welcome. Jaylyn, I literally have an email on my computer screen that I'm sending you right now to talk to you about your gut protocol. So I will send it to you as soon as I'm done with this live, honey. It was good seeing you today. All right. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great rest of your day. Sending you my love. Bye.